Bad football. Credit Baylor, but Coach Miranda and their crew, they were ready to go. They soundly beat us in every phase. You know, I could sit up here and talk a lot, but y'all watched it. That's what it was. From the point in the third quarter where we botched the onside kick, the game was never close. And we did not block them. We didn't consistently block them. And we never covered them. So it's pretty simple. You know, if you can't block them on offense and you don't cover them on defense, it's going to be a long day. And it was a disappointing performance. Bad football. And we weren't very good today. You know, that's the difference between this game and the rest of them. The rest of them, we've had a chance. Fourth quarter, we didn't get it done today. But you know, after about 5 or 6 minutes in the third quarter, we were never in it. And so, disappointing. But credit to Baylor. They played solid today. They did a really good job of moving around defensively. I think that Petrie and Bernard are really good, but those other guys are the ones that made a bunch of plays today, and we didn't foresee that, so credit to them. So questions?
So Neal, start with defense. I mean, you guys haven't been perfect this year, but you haven't been gashed with big plays that often.
Yeah.
Did they do something? You guys missed something? What was that?
We just got exposed a little bit. You know, we've defensively we've played above average at times, but we haven't been very consistent, and we've struggled with coverage. And they came out and they hadn't shown the ability early to do that as far as throwing the football, but they do today. And Bohannon's played well. He hasn't hurt them. I still think he hadn't thrown an interception all year. And we haven't covered Thornton yet. He may still be running out there wide open. You know, and played soft. Our underneath defenders didn't do a very good job getting out in the flats. We made it really easy for them to pitch the ball out there and complete it.
And Neal, Scotty, wasn't to hear any.
Yeah, personally, yeah, he was not healthy. We'll kind of leave it at that.
How much did not having him hurt?
No, zero. Honestly, zero. That's not negative on him. I mean, Jackie Matthews has been splitting time there at the Spear anyway, and Jackie practiced there all week. Scotty didn't practice all week, so Jackie got all the reps. And I don't mean that as a discredit to Scotty, but our inability to cover didn't have anything to do with him not playing.
Offense and the ability, you talked about the inability to block well.
Yeah, we didn't block them. I mean, you know, we didn't block them. In particular, our right side. You know, it doesn't matter if you're going to run or pass. When you lose one-on-one battles over and over and over again, it's going to be hard. And there's some fundamental issues there. There's some things that they did to take advantage of some good matchups, and we just didn't play very well. And but I mean, if you look at it, I mean, I don't know if there was a time where we had more than 1 or 2 plays in a row where we blocked them, and they weren't sending much. I mean, you're talking about five guys. It's pretty much what they did, simulated pressures.
I mean, have you seen anything of improvement in that area, or is that, I mean, the trend
well,
down?
I mean, no, I mean, I think it's hard to sit here and talk about improvement when you put that on video today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I would say. I'd love to sit here and tell you, hey, we're getting better, but we got exposed today in those positions. And we didn't play very well in the first half at those positions last week as well. Wyatt was hurt. He didn't play because he wasn't 100%. And I don't think it's fair to a true freshman who's going to have a great career here to put him out there in that situation where he wasn't full speed. Because I think at that point, you lose a player's confidence. And you know, I wasn't going to do that with him. He was probably 75, 80%. And he would have helped us. He would have helped us, but I don't think that's not fair to him. You know, this is a long-term deal, and he's going to play. He's going to start on the sideline line for a long time, and it wasn't fair to him today. So when he does play, I think that's going to help us.
Leaving the execution aside, was the level of effort acceptable to you today?
It's hard to tell when you're not watching it, Kevin. You know what I mean? It's hard to tell. You know, I would say when you get beat like that, it's probably not what you want. You know, but when you're on the sideline, I don't want to sit here and throw bullets when you know, it's hard to watch from the field level sometimes. You know, I don't think that we chased the ball defensively as well as we have in the second half. But I can talk about that on Tuesday, and I'll give you an honest assessment on Tuesday, but it wouldn't be prudent for me to do it now.
You had to take a timeout on the very first offensive
Yeah,
play.
to be honest with you, I think it's completely, I think it's poor officiating, but I'm not going to get into it. Had issues, but it's better for me not to talk about it. I'll say that. Okay, but I'm not real pleased with that aspect either.
You have a pretty good time to get a bye week, I'd imagine. Where do you kind of start when you hit practice again next week?
Well, you know, we gotta solve some issues. You know, if you look at it through 5 games, we've been right there, and so we haven't been far off. But today was a totally different story, so I think everything's on the table. But Baylor's got a good football team, all right, and they got some momentum early in the season. They've got it rolling, and they played really well here at home. Beat a quality Iowa State team here, but they played well, but we didn't do enough to compete at this level. And so when that happens, everything's on the table. And so, to be honest, going to get away, players and coaches get away for about 48 hours. We'll come back on Tuesday and get back to work with some plans on how to fix what happened today.
A couple of young guys got action for you. I know you're looking for depth, so Creighton, Vesternen, it's probably hard to evaluate what they did, but just what got them opportunities.
Well, we weren't productive, the guys in front of them. You know, defensively, one of our major issues is the lack of depth. You know, and we're not very deep. We lack numbers, and that's not an excuse. I'm just telling you that's what our issue is. We don't have very good numbers on that side of the ball, especially in the secondary. And so, D-line wise, those guys have started to show in Monday Night Football and some other things that they're ready to play. So we got them out there. You know, how they play, we'll see. I thought they did some good things in the fourth quarter. You know, I think Baylor played their first group out there for a long time, and we played most of, you know, at the end of the third into the fourth with our sub, just because I want to see what the guys can do. You know, what our ones been putting out there that wasn't good enough, so I want to see what they can do. So that's the one piece of film I'm looking forward to evaluate is some of those guys that subbed in the fourth quarter on defense.
Ryan asked you about the open week, but is it tough emotionally to do this at an open week?
No, I think that, you know, we got issues to fix. You know, and the more time you have to fix those, I think it's better. And we're beat up, you know, and we were out like 66 guys on the trip. We're down scholarship numbers anyway. We were out 66 guys on the trip. We had to play a ton of guys. You know, so we're beat up pretty good. Nothing major. Probably emotionally beat up more than anything because things haven't gone very well the last 3 weeks. And so I think the bye week hits at a good time. And like I said, we got issues to fix. And so the more time we have to do it, the better. Anybody else?
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Yep.